Hi everyone, my name is Bautista, former mayoral candidate and now chair of the Transportation and Parking Committee for the transition team for the mayor-elect of Hoboken. I wanted to quickly go over this topic. There's a lot of comments I saw from a story at Graphics Avenger in terms of Peter Kim and him going to the city council meeting. Peter Kim is a friend, and he's a Bike Hoboken advocate, and he almost got hit by a car right after that city council meeting. That city council meeting was in regards to an ordinance that wants to really limit people and telling people that they cannot ride on the sidewalk at all. And I just wanted to address this issue because there's a lot of comments and a lot of opinions, and I wanted to bring a little bit of facts also to the table and to the conversation. Let's start by, stop generalizing, right? Let's stop generalizing. Let's start thinking about this, that everything originates with people. In order to be a jerk, a person has to be a person first, and then they're a jerk riding a bike or driving a car or walking or doing whatever. So that has nothing to do, the meaning of transportation doesn't have to do anything with whether or not people follow the law. People are not perfect, and that's why some people don't follow the law. That's why some cars blow through the stop signs like it happened to Peter. That's why some people on bikes, unfortunately, and I'm a bike advocate, don't follow the rules, and some. But that doesn't mean that everybody that drives those mediums of transportation don't follow the law and are jerks. So let's start with that, right? And also thinking that we're all in this together. We're all neighbors, and we all either walk, and we all start walking. That's why the pedestrian is priority. But then there's a lot of vulnerabilities, and we cannot be thinking that everybody that chooses a specific medium of transportation is one type of person, right? There's 80-year-old people that are riding bikes, and I've seen it. And I've taken a picture of, because that's something that is very important, is to document that there's people that are having these preferences depending on themselves. And there's also older people that decide to drive because of their preferences and their capacities. So let's start thinking about that. But there are reasons behind of why people double park. Is because they cannot find parking in order to drop off or pick up some stuff from their home or from an office or from a restaurant. There's the same reason why there's people who ride a bike on the sidewalk, and that's not optimal. But that's what we have to come up with, real solutions that fix that. And we know that enforcement has not been working for double parking. We know that enforcement doesn't work when it comes to riding the bike on the sidewalk. And that's because that's not the real solution. There's a limited amount of resources when it comes to police enforcement. Chief Ferrante has been doing an amazing job educating people and really talking to people about this. Even in terms of double parking, they try to really speak to them and convince them to move their car in order to, instead of ticketing everybody. Now, that being said, the real solution is infrastructure. If we have, for example, with double park cars, pick up and drop off zones in the middle of the block, not in the corner because that's dangerous, then that helps multiply that parking spot, and then more people can use it and people don't have to double park. But we also have to make the streets not be so wide, because one, cars go faster, as we saw in the recording of Peter, and also cars can double park and then they block bike lanes, for example, for people that choose to ride a bike because that's their preference, because that's a convenience, right? And really, biking is just a faster way to getting around a town. They're one less car that is stuck with you in traffic. Is one more chance for you to find a parking spot. So we have to be happy that some people are biking. And in order to encourage more people to do that, we need to make it safer for everyone. We need to make our streets safer. And the way that we do that is through protected bike lanes. And it has been proven by studies. It's not me just speaking, just out of thin air. There's studies that say that up to 70% reduction there has been whenever you put a protected bike lane there. From the 70% reduction of people who ride on the sidewalks. So let's start thinking about that instead. Let's start thinking about the things that work. Because right now there is already an ordinance. That's just to amend the ordinance that's already in place that says that people are not supposed to ride on the sidewalk at speeds faster than the walking pace. Now, I say that the walking pace could be 3 miles an hour, but there's a recording from 2015 that the chief of police has said that they see it as 5 miles per hour riding on the sidewalk as the limit if you ride a bike. And that's because of safety issues. If we address the safety issues for bicyclists, in Hoboken, then we're able to make sure that the sidewalks are for people. And there's some sidewalks that are too narrow for even having a stroller. So how about we start thinking the next level too, is how about we make the sidewalks a bit bigger, and let's start thinking about how do we make our streets more for people and for people's mobility, and thinking that not everybody that rides a bike is 25-year-old and athletic and in spandex, and that there's older people, there's younger people that are kids, there's their mothers, their fathers, their grandparents. There's a whole bunch of different people that choose this medium of transportation. And that's a good thing for the city. It makes sure that the people that need to drive truly have more space to do so. And then, so let's start thinking about it that way. Let's work together. Let's collaborate. I invite the city council members to have a conversation, not just with me, but with the rest of the people who are pedestrian advocates. Let's talk to the moms as well. But let's start thinking about those real solutions. Let's talk to the engineers. We have Stevens Institute of Technology here in Hoboken. Some of the best engineers in the country graduated from Hoboken. Why are we making things up out of thin air instead of really doing what actually works and what the engineers can tell us?